Hi everyone, I'm here to talk about Exodus, Gods and Kings. And yes, it is the second Moses movie to star Batman as Moses. Val Kilmer was the first, everyone. Before I watched the movie in theaters, I was a bit worried about it because Ridley Scott didn't really direct that good movies lately. I mean, Robin Hood I thought was average at best, but I thought Prometheus was stupid as hell but visually impressive. The Counselor, boring as hell but visually impressive. So I was worried about this movie also. I was worried that it's going to be visually impressive, but boring or stupid as hell. And also, after checking up the Rotten Tomatoes score, I'm like, oh man, probably I should avoid this movie in theaters. But I can't pass up the opportunity of Christian Bale playing as Moses. And also Aaron Paul is in it, and Sigourney Weaver's in it, and John Turturro. I didn't even know he was in it, but I was glad that he was in it. I thought he was good at SETI, even though he was barely in the movie. Joel Edgerton, I do like. He was from Warrior, and I thought that was a great movie, and he was good in it, and he was one of the only things I kind of like about the Thing prequel. I hated the movie, but I kind of liked his character, even though he's kind of bland, and basically he's just a Kurt Russell ripoff. But I don't blame the actor, I just blame the movie. Yeah, I finally watched the movie, and I gotta say, I did like it. I did. I did like the movie. I don't think it's a great movie. I just think it's a good movie. I think a big problem with this movie is that I felt like it's really trimmed down a lot. I felt like this movie was going to be like 3.5 hours long or 4 hours long, and they just trimmed it down to 2.5 hours. I felt like a lot of the scenes were cut. At points, it felt like it was really, I wouldn't say badly edited, just weirdly edited. I mean, it's kind of like watching, if you ever saw the movie Red Cliff, that's a 5-hour long movie because it's part 1 and part 2. And actually, it came out at the same time, but everyone knows that you can't really watch a 5-hour movie in its entirety, so they have to cut it down. And then they made an American version of it where it goes to 2.5 hours. So they just basically put most of the action scenes in that movie. It kind of felt like the same thing with this. Because I feel like there were more scenes with Ramesses and Moses just talking to each other, but they just keep cutting it down, and I kind of don't like that because I love it whenever Moses talks to Ramesses. That part, besides the 10 plagues, I thought were the best parts about the movie. Every time Ramesses talks to Moses, I really got interested. I got invested. I like these two guys. Christian Bale was great as Moses, and Joel Edgerton, he had a tough job to play as Ramesses, but I thought he mostly succeeded. I don't really blame the problems with Ramesses on him. I mostly blame it because of the editing and the script. There should have been more scenes with Ramesses, so it would flesh out more of his character. He's the son of Seti, and he's going to be the pharaoh, but Seti doesn't fully believe in him or trust in him. Seti actually favors Moses more, so of course Ramesses is jealous of that, but he wants to be a good brother. He loves Moses, and he wants to be a good pharaoh also. So after Seti dies, he becomes a pharaoh, but he's worried that people think he's the weak link, and so he wants to be grander than Seti, and then he creates these monuments and stuff, and he doesn't want to show people that he's a weakling. And he's a family man. He really loves his son, his baby boy. I wanted more scenes with him, and I wanted more scenes with him and Moses. But I felt like they just cut a lot of that off, or Ridley Scott did not film any of that. I don't know. It was kind of weird. There was a casting controversy over this movie, and I understand that. I understand why people are upset. It is 2014. Ridley Scott should have gotten Egyptians to play the leads. I get that. However, I just care about good acting and a good movie. Race issue, it depends. Sometimes it doesn't really affect me. For this movie, it doesn't really affect me that much, but I can understand from other points of people's views of why it is a problem. Even though I do think that Christian Bale and Joel Edgerton did a good job. Anyway, Christian Bale's British and Joel Edgerton's Australian, so it's not like they're Americans and people just hate Hollywood for putting Americans in these roles. I do gotta say one thing about the casting controversy. I don't know why Aaron Paul and Sigourney Weaver are in this movie. I don't. They're not bad. They're just wasted. Sigourney Weaver especially. It's basically a cameo. I don't know why she's in this movie. I don't know who she is. I didn't even check up Wikipedia yet. Probably she plays the mother of Ramesses, but it turns out there is a woman who claims that she's the mother of Ramesses, I believe. I don't think she's Moses' mother, but she does favor Miriam. And yes, Miriam and Aaron are in this movie, but they're only in it for like 5 minutes each. I don't understand that part. So, Sigourney Weaver, I don't know who she plays. I don't even know if she's the secretary of Ramesses or not, or she's the... no, she's not the wife. You actually see Ramesses' wife. And Sigourney Weaver just talks a couple lines. She even talks about, why didn't you kill Moses, Ramesses? You should have killed him because he betrayed you. Even though he is your adopted brother, he betrayed you and you should have killed him. And that's it. She only said that. And then you see her a couple times throughout the movie, and then you don't see her again. I don't know if she died. I don't know. Because it said 9 years later, and that's when Moses got his family, his son, and Ramesses just got a baby boy. So I thought that she was going to die, but no. She was still in those scenes. And then after that, she's not shown again. I don't know if she died. I don't know what happened to her. So that's weird. And Aaron Paul, you have Jesse Pinkman in your movie, and you barely use him. Why? Oh man, it's such a wasted opportunity. And also a wasted opportunity to not say bitch. Yo, Moses, bitch! No, nothing like that. He barely speaks in this movie. Barely speaks in this movie. When you first see him, he's the skinny, bald, crazy guy covered in mud, and he's being whipped to death. Seriously! That's Aaron Paul's first introduction to this movie. And Christian Bale walks by and he's like, oh, why are you whipping Aaron Paul? And the guard is like, oh, because Aaron Paul said that he doesn't feel any pain. And Christian Bale replies back, so why are you still whipping him? Then he walks away. That's it. No, that's not Aaron Paul's only scene. But no, Aaron Paul plays Joshua. Joshua. Yeah, you do see Aaron Paul again. He gets longer hair. And most of the times, he's just staring at Moses. Seriously, he's just staring at Moses for the majority of this movie. And he barely says anything. Why? Damn it, man. I think a lot of scenes were cut because I felt like more scenes are with these actors and actresses that we know and like, but they're barely in the movie for some reason. And here's the weird thing. Aaron Paul has the majority of screen time compared to other supporting characters. Yes, he's in it more than Moses' son, Moses' wife, Ramesses' wife, Ramesses' son, and Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley basically just plays Ben Kingsley. He does very good in the role. He's serviceable. I don't know what his character's name is, but he basically tells Moses that Moses is a Jew and he was adopted and all that stuff. And here's a weird thing about this movie. I'm not sure if it was in the other movies or stories, but so Miriam and Moses, they got adopted by Ramesses' mother. So, yeah, Ramesses' mother kind of knew that they were Hebrews. Remember that part in the trailer where Ramesses was going to cut off a woman's arm off? Yeah, that's Miriam. Miriam was the one who was about to get her own arm chopped off. And Moses stopped and he said, yes, she's my sister! Yes! And at that point, Moses couldn't really believe in the story. And, yeah, that's kind of weird, though. I don't recall that from the other movies. I mean, I mostly remember Prince of Egypt, and I know that Miriam just shows up out of nowhere, and I believe Sandra Bullock voiced her. I could be wrong. And she and Aaron were just telling Moses the entire truth. But no, it turns out that in this version, Miriam has been taking care of Ramesses and Moses for her life. And she looks old also. I don't know if it's because of the makeup or something, but no. At first, I thought she was the girl from Prometheus, Numi Rapace. She looks very similar. Here's the thing. I really like Ramesses scenes in this movie, and I felt like they should have been extended a bit more, because right after this, Moses is in jail and he's about to be exiled, and Sigourney Weaver is telling Ramesses that Ramesses should have just killed Moses. But Ramesses is like, no, I don't want to kill my own brother. Listen, he did not admit that he's a Hebrew. He just said that because he doesn't want to see a woman's arm chopped off. I was like, wow. I like this Ramesses. He actually does care about Moses, and I really like that about this movie, that Moses and Ramesses' brotherhood. That's the best thing about this movie. After Moses got exiled and he went back to Egypt again after knowing about God and stuff, and he wants to free his people, he meets up with Ramesses again, and he snuck in. Oh, here's the thing about the... Ramesses does not have guards or something like that, or he just doesn't have doors or locked windows or anything, because Moses didn't have to even sneak in. He just basically walked in. And Ramesses does not have any security guards. No one is about to kill him, or he's not worried about anyone killing him or anything. He's just living peacefully, honestly. So he's like, okay, I'm in my hall. Okay, I'm gonna check the horses. Oh yeah, horsey, yay. Oh my god, it's Moses with a sword. And Moses held a sword against Ramesses' throat, and he kind of cuts him, but Moses doesn't want to kill him. Moses is just threatening him. Moses was threatening Ramesses to free his people. Ramesses replies that, okay, but we have to do an agreement or something like that, and it has to take time. This cannot happen overnight. And Moses is like, well, you're about to be fucked up by God anyway, so if you don't listen to me, well, God is gonna fuck you up. Basically, that's it. You know what? Ramesses does play a bit of a dick in this movie, but it's understandable, though, because the way he's brought up and stuff. But he's not really a bad guy when you really think about it. Sure, yeah, more slaves were used to just create these monuments that are not important anyway. A lot of slaves died more because he wanted them to work faster and stuff. I understand that. But honestly, though, I would just say that Ramesses is just ignorant. I wouldn't say he's evil. And when he does want to kill Moses in the end, I understand why. It's not because he's evil. He just wants revenge on Moses, and he believes that his God is the reason why his son died, and he wants revenge on that. Yeah, I understand that. Ramesses does care a lot about his family, and I do like that. He cares about his wife, he cares about his baby boy, and he wants his baby boy to become Pharaoh one day. You know what? That's good. It's not like Maleficent. Yeah, I just watched that recently, where I think it was King Stefan or something like that. Yeah, he's a dick. He doesn't care about his wife. He barely cares about Aurora, even after not seeing her for 16 years. So Ramesses is not like that. He is, yes, ignorant, but more gentle than the previous versions of Ramesses. I would say he's kind of like Ralph Fiennes Ramesses from The Prince of Egypt. I do like Joel Edgerton Ramesses, but I do want more scenes with him. I do want more scenes with him and Moses. Like I said about the Brotherhood, there's a scene earlier in the movie where Seti gives a pair of swords to Moses and Ramesses. They each get one sword. They're gold. But here's the thing. Each of them got the other person's sword. So Moses got Ramesses' sword and Ramesses got Moses' sword. So Ramesses is like, wait, Moses, that's mine. You know, give it back. Here, I'll trade you. And Seti's like, no. It's supposed to be this way. So you two have each other's backs. Do not forget that you two are brothers. Yeah, it felt a bit of a cartoon at that time, but I kind of dug it. I haven't really seen it executed like that in a film before. These two basically touched tips with their swords, and they were playing around a bit right before they headed into battle. I like that. I wanted more scenes like that, you know, explain more of the Brotherhood. But no, they don't really have that much afterwards. This movie doesn't have that much action. If you were thinking that, oh, this is a Moses movie with a badass action, you know, there's going to be badass battles, no. There's only one battle in the movie, and it's in the beginning of the movie. It just reminds you of Gladiator, basically. It's well shot, it's well done, the action was intense, but at the same time, I'm like, is that Maximus? Oh no, that's Moses. Never mind. Also, I do like the costume design is pretty good, and I do like the fact that Ramesses is all gold and Moses is all black. I do like the yin-yang. Yeah, the sets look good. Oh my god. I just watched the making of. It's a 5-minute making of this movie, and the sets look gorgeous. When I was watching the movie, I'm like, oh my god, is this fully CGI'd or is that real sets? Because these look authentic as hell. And for the most part, they are. They are real sets. Yeah, they do have a green screen in the back, but that's only for the vast faraway shots. For the most part, they actually built this thing. I was impressed. It looks gorgeous. This movie is gorgeous. The best thing about this movie has to be the 10 plagues and the Red Sea parting. They're all visually stunning. Well, the 10th plague, not really that much, but I'll get to that. The 10 plagues, they are scary as fuck, man. Oh my god. It's frightening. This movie is scarier than Prometheus. Which, Prometheus should have been a horror movie. But no, this movie's scarier. Just for 10 minutes alone. 10 minutes of visual effects and it's frightening. The imagery is frightening. Alright, before I get into the 10 plagues, I gotta talk about God. God has a physical form in this movie. Nope, it's not just a burning bush. Yeah, you do see the burning bush, but nope. God is played by an 8-year-old kid. Yeah. God is an 8-year-old kid. I don't know why this God has scars on his face. You know, he has cuts and bruises. I don't know why. But yeah, he's an 8-year-old kid. And at first it was weird because Moses was climbing the mountain. And this happens right after he exiled. He sees these 3 goats or 3 sheep. I totally forgot which one they were at the time. But he was trying to get them. There's a rainstorm all of a sudden, and it only affects the mountain. He was trying to get them, but he slid off, and then there was a landslide, and he got hit in the head with a rock. He broke his leg, and then he's stuck in, like, quicksand. So when he wakes up, he sees a burning bush, and then he sees a little boy. The little boy was talking to him, all cryptic-like, and then his final message to him is like, I am that I am. And at that point, you're like, holy shit, is this kid God? I am so confused now. So Moses fell asleep and then he wakes up again and then he's explained to Miriam all this crazy shit that's happened and Miriam's like, listen, you just got hit in the head with a rock. Of course you're gonna see weird shit. So at this point you're like, huh, is all this in Moses' head? Okay, Ridley Scott, I'm kind of digging this version. Because this movie seems like it's going to be grounded in reality. I was like, huh, so is there going to be like a realistic approach to 10 plagues? I can't wait to see how this goes. Nope, God exists. He's not just a vision in Moses' head. He exists. He does some crazy weird ass shit and it's not just all coincidences. I thought the first 5 plagues or 6 plagues were coincidences because they connected with each other. But nope, God exists. He's an 8-year-old boy with a temper tantrum. Yep, a temper tantrum. Because when he first talks to Moses, he's like, for 400 years my people suffered. I want something done about it now! No, the kid did not sound annoying like that. And honestly, the kid's acting was pretty good. Especially for a child actor, I thought he was good. But I can see why people are put off by this. An 8-year-old kid who says that he's God. I don't know how people are gonna buy that. I kind of dug it because it was hilarious. Seriously, he has a temper tantrum. He's like, I want it now! I want it now! I want the slaves being free now! And Christian Bale's like, Jesus Christ, kid, grow up! God! You're God! For 400 years, your people suffered. You're now gonna do shit about it? Seriously, when Moses said this, I was cracking up. I was like, oh my God, Moses said it best. Why didn't you do something, God, if your people suffered? So at this point, I'm like, probably it's just a vision in Moses' head. But when the 10 plagues happen, then you realize, holy shit, this God is not only selfish, but he kills a lot of people. Seriously, man. God kills so many people and so many living creatures. Seriously. When the 10 plagues start, he basically tells Moses, okay, you're going to sit back and watch. I don't want you to do anything. You don't have to do anything. I don't even need you for this point. What? You know, in the movies and some of the short stories, Moses had a staff that God has given him, and this staff has all the powers of God, which, can come forth the 10 plagues. Nope, there's no staff in this one. Moses had a staff, but he lost it during the landslide. He just has the sword, and the sword does something near the end with the Red Sea. But that's it. Basically, God did all the shit himself. I'm wondering why he didn't do this earlier. Seriously, when the 10 plagues started, he sent crocodiles or alligators. I don't really know. It was kind of fast. But I believe they're crocodiles since it's in Egypt. So he sends crocodiles into the River Nile. And then the crocodiles ate all the fishermen. And this scene was bloody as hell. This movie's PG-13. I don't even know how it got that rating because the blood alone, that's a lot of blood. And because the crocodiles ate all the fishermen, then they're like, holy shit, we gotta eat each other. So the crocodiles ate each other. So blood is everywhere throughout the River Nile. And because of this, the fish die because, of course, they can't swim in blood. So the fish die, and the crops and the farms are destroyed because blood is coming into the irrigation system and stuff. And because of that, the frogs come out. Because they can't live in bloody waters. So they come out and go into Egypt. And then the frogs die out because they need a place with water. But they can't because there's no water around because it's all covered with blood. So the frogs die out. And they dry out. So the flies come, the maggots come, the frogs decompose, which sends diseases throughout the air. And then the flies come, the mosquitoes come, the locusts come. So everyone's dying of diseases, and they're also getting bug bites all around them. So they need ointments and stuff. Hell, Ramesses got the worst of it. He got like a bunch of bites over here, so he's like swollen over here every time he speaks and stuff like that. So yeah, even his wife is affected. The only person who wasn't affected by this is basically Ramesses' son. So yeah, he took care of him very well. I'm happy about that. And then right after this, they connected all those plagues. So I was like, huh, I guess this is a realistic approach to it. So everything's like a coincidence, I guess. So this movie's trying to be grounded in reality. Then all of a sudden you do see the meteor shower, you see the ice storm and the twisters and stuff and the lightning. And then you're like, oh, okay, God exists. Only God can do this shit. And I love the fact that there was a scene of this guy. I believe he's the same guy from Snowpiercer, the one with one arm. And if that's so, then he's the same guy from Pearl Harbor. Yes, the Michael Bay movie, where the guy was stuttering the entire time. He's like, jabs are here! So he's explaining to everyone about the science of the plague. So he's like, okay, so the crocodiles ate all the people, and then they ate each other, and then blood is everywhere, so the fish die. And because of that, the frogs come out, and then they die because they need water. And then the maggots came, the flies came, and diseases are everywhere, blah, 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 blah. And the animals are dying too because of the diseases. But when the ice storms and firestorms happen, and Ramesses asked him, okay, what do you make of this? He's like, I have no fucking clue. And then Ramesses just hanged him. Ramesses hanged a couple of his staff, and it's funny, because there's this priestess, and you know what's funny? I don't know why he hanged her, because what she was saying was the truth. Because in the beginning of the movie, Seti used this priestess to tell her about what's the prophecy of this battle, what's going to happen. And she says that, okay, so the ruler will be saved, but the person will save him will be the savior. So, of course, Ramesses almost died, and Moses saved them. So Ramesses believed that the prophecy is going to be true. So yeah, the priestess, I don't even know why she had to be hanged in the end, because she was basically telling the truth. Sure, she couldn't do shit about the 10 plagues, but I don't blame her. And at that point, I'm probably Sigourney Weaver got hanged as well. I don't know. I don't know about who she play as. It's so confusing. The 10th plague, the one where all the babies, the firstborns die. What I like about the scene before this is that Moses is talking to God about this, and God is like, you know what? Even though we've shown vast improvement, Ramesses is still stubborn as hell. I gotta do something drastic. And Moses is like, what? God tells him what he's gonna do, and Moses is like, no! No! I don't want any part of this! I don't give a damn! No! I don't allow it! No! So he ends up telling Ramesses that, Ramesses, this has gone far beyond my control. I have no choice. You have to decide before nightfall. He doesn't tell Ramesses what's going to happen, though. So Moses told his followers, all the Hebrew people, to sacrifice a lamb, put the blood over the doorpost and stuff. So anyway, so the 10th plague happens, and at this point I was like, oh my god, the plagues are getting more darker and darker than ever before, because even during the ice storm, people are getting pummeled by the ice, their heads being split open. You don't really see their heads splitting open, but you can hear the crunching noises and all that stuff. People just flop down dead. So I was like, oh my god, how much more darker can it be? The 10th plague, I almost expected the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark scene. Seriously, I thought that some ghost was going to come out and burn the babies alive or something like that. That's what I felt like is going to happen. Nope. Nightfall comes, the children just die. They just don't breathe anymore. That's it. So visually, it's not that stunning. But it is a good scene, though. It is a very tragic scene, especially with Ramesses. Because Ramesses, he thought that what Moses said is going to be a physical killer. He didn't realize that God is going to come in like a spiritual form and just take the life of his son. He didn't expect that. So he was just guarding his son's room, and he had a sword in hand, just ready to attack any attackers. But when he realized that his own son is dead, it's tragic, because even with all that power, all his people, Ramesses couldn't do shit to save his son. I thought that scene was very good. Alright, so after this, Ramesses told Moses, your people can go. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Just leave. And then Moses and his people went on this very, very long walk. This walk felt like it was like an hour long. My god, it was long. And Ramesses is like, you know what? Screw this. I want revenge. I'm going to get all my armies and just follow Moses and kill him and his people. So, yeah, Ramesses is tracking them down. So, Moses went to the Red Sea, and shit doesn't happen. So, another 10 to 20 minutes are spent with Moses just talking to God. Listen, God, you're not doing shit. So Moses throws his sword, and then that causes the Red Sea to part. And then they finally cross the Red Sea, and then Ramesses and his men finally caught up to them. And then Moses is like, okay, men, we have to fight. Get everyone else to safety. So you see Moses, Aaron, and all the other people who have swords about to charge at the Ramesses. But the Red Sea decides to come back, and then Ramesses and his men, well, Ramesses by himself, because all his men, when they saw the Red Sea is coming back, they're like, holy shit, we're turning back, screw you, Ramesses. So Ramesses' armies basically deserted him. They just fled tail, they went back. But they still get hit by the waves. I thought that was kind of funny. So Moses is like, okay, it's just Ramesses. You know what? Everyone else, you can go. It's just me and Ramesses here. So Moses' followers just left them. So it's just Ramesses and Moses. And I gotta say, the Red Sea was spectacular. Visually stunning. This scene is so beautiful. Wow. And also the shot of them. Moses and Ramesses right in front of the Red Sea coming back towards them. Come crashing down towards them. Beautiful. Oh yeah, I gotta say, remember that shot in the trailer where you see a white horse in front of the Red Sea and it was coming towards the white horse? Yeah, that horse dies. Sorry, people! Oh my god, I couldn't believe they showed that the wave crashed down onto the white horse. I'm like, what did the horse do to you, God? You're such a dick! So Ramesses charged at Moses, and then he got hit by the Red Sea. Moses himself got hit by the Red Sea. God is a dick. Also, the Red Sea was coming down onto the Hebrew people as well. Seriously, when the Hebrews realized that the Red Sea are coming, they're like, holy shit, the Red Sea is coming, we gotta leave, ah! And you actually see some crowds of people get slammed by the waves. What the hell, God? And here's the kicker. Ramesses survived this. He was in the middle of the Red Sea, and he survived getting hit by the waves. Moses survived getting hit by the waves, but his horse still died. God really hates horses, I guess. But here's the thing. Ramesses' army, they're all dead. Every single one of them. All the soldiers are drowned. All the horses are drowned. And then it turns out there's sharks there, so they're eating everything up. But Ramesses, for some reason, survived. I thought that was very cruel. Seriously. You could say it's the work of God to have Ramesses still alive, I guess. But my God, what God did to Ramesses is cruel. Because Ramesses has no transportation. It's a long way back to Egypt. He's basically screwed. And here's the thing about the Moses stories. Why couldn't God just appear in physical form in front of Ramesses saying, if you keep doing this, then I'm going to torture you. You're not going to have a son anymore or something like that. No, God can only speak to Moses apparently. So after that we have the 10 Commandments, and then the movie is done with Christian Bale being old man Moses. Seriously, Christian Bale has old age makeup. At least it's not CGI'd like Guy Pearce was in Prometheus. Christian Bale actually looks convincing as an old man Moses. He has very faded eyes. His gray hair is very long. He has a bushy beard. And he looks at the 80-year-old God one last time. And then the movie ends. So, I gotta say, for this take on Moses' story, I did like it. But chances are there's a directed extended edition cut, and I want to see that because I feel like Ridley Scott's extended editions are the best versions out there. Seriously, Kingdom of Heaven, when I first saw it, I thought it was boring as fuck. But after I saw the director's cut, I was amazed at how good it was. Seriously. So probably it's the same thing for this one. Like I said before, I thought the acting was good for the most part, even though Sigourney Weaver, Aaron Paul, probably a bit of John Turturro was unnecessary. Christian Bale was pretty good, Joel Edgerton was good, and the sets look great, the costume looks great, the makeup looks great, the visual effects look stunning, the score is great. This movie does deserve some Academy Award nominations at least. At least in visual effects and makeup and costuming and set productions. Because those are good. You have to admire Ridley Scott for that. The scope and magnitude of this movie, it's outstanding. I understand if this movie is very disappointing to a lot of people. I understand that. However, to me, I did like it. I understand if you guys hated it. I understand if you guys don't like it. But like I said, honestly, I did come in with kind of low expectations, and this movie did deliver on what I kind of wanted. I did kind of want a battle in front of the Red Sea. Even though I didn't get that, still the shots look spectacular. Honestly, though, I thought this movie was a kind of a fun time in the movie theater. But so far, not a lot of people are liking it. I'm at least glad that this movie's making some money, at least. And that's my review on Exodus, Gods and Kings. Write down in the comments below, how do you feel about it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with the casting controversy? Let me know. Well guys, if you like this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, there's an annotation here for subscribing. So until next time guys, see you later.